If you need a portable monitor for your MacBook, there's really only two options worth looking at. The first one is one of these bad boys. There's a few companies that make them. They're anywhere from $50 to $100 on Amazon. I'll link the best one in my bio, but it's just this really simple 15-inch portable monitor. The case that it comes with works as a little stand, but here's the best part. When you hook it up to your MacBook, it only requires a single USB cable, and that cable handles both power and display, so it's really simple to get rigged up pretty much anywhere. And it literally just recognizes as any old monitor would. You could drag windows between it. It does also have a standalone HDMI input if you want to use a console with it or something that doesn't have USB-C. This is going to be your cheapest option, and it's a very good one. These things are very impressive for the price. Like I said, they go up and down. I'll link the cheapest one I can find on Amazon in my bio. And then this is the second option. This is what I use. So not a lot of people know this, but you can use an iPad natively as a second monitor on a Mac. You literally just go to your display settings on the right, click iPad, and it's a native second monitor. The really cool thing here is it can be used totally wirelessly. So if you're moving around, like sitting on the couch, and you just kind of want this thing off to the side, again, works as a normal monitor. You could drag and drop windows between it like you would any other monitor, and it just kind of works. And even though the iPads are a little bit more expensive than the standalone monitor, you are also getting an iPad out of it. I personally use the Apple Pencil all the time, and I use this to watch movies on and stuff, so having that and the second monitor functionality makes this option worth it for me. But whether you choose the iPad or the standalone monitor, you're gonna have a great time. Hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching. So I just ran into a real world situation where I got to utilize one of the lesser known but arguably most useful iPhone AI features. Okay, context, I was gifted this mug by one of my favorite smart home brands, Aqara, and I absolutely love this thing. It has a little straw, great. I use it for water and it feels like it should be able to handle hot liquid as well, but there's this rubber straw and I don't know if that would be safe to put like hot liquid in. And there's literally no branding or anything for me to look up if I can do that. Check this out. If you have an iPhone 16, if you tap the camera button, it just opens up the normal camera. We all know that. But if you hold that button, it brings up this Apple Intelligence interface where you literally just take a picture of anything and it's going to give you the option to search up what that picture is. I was able to find out what the exact model of this little cup was and determine that it is in fact safe for hot liquid. I know there's a lot of other services that do this, but this works really, really well and it's baked right into the phone. I literally just pulled my phone in my pocket, held the button, and I knew that answer right away. It's a little thing, but a genuinely useful feature. Let's see if you could answer this one simple question, Nerd Edition. You're either gonna knock this out of the park or learn something new, so it's a win-win. The question is, what are these extremely common electronic components called? They come in a bunch of different sizes, and a bonus point if you can explain to me what they do. Answer in 3, 2, 1. So these are called capacitors, and they're one of the most important parts of any electronic circuit. Here's how they work. So a capacitor is basically a really small battery that's crucially built to be discharged and recharged thousands, sometimes millions of times a second. Now, why would we want this? So here we have a power source. I have a generator here, but this could be a USB cable, plug in the wall, anything. Then we have a device that needs power. Again, I just have a light bulb here. This device needs 120 volts, and the generator outputs 120 volts, so that should work well, right? Wrong. Now, while the generator does output an average of 120 volts of power, power sources are super inconsistent, and it's usually going to average between 140 and 110 volts of power as this thing is generating power, and that'll cause weird flickering in the light bulb. And while light bulb flickering isn't the end of the world, if there's something like a computer on the other end, those spikes of voltage will absolutely fry the computer, so that's where a capacitor comes in. We put the capacitor in line with our circuit between our power source and our device. And then the capacitor will have a fixed output voltage of 120 volts. Now here's the cool part. Because this is a little battery, if the voltage were to intermittently drop to 100 volts, there's a store of power in the capacitor that's able to still maintain that constant 120 volts. And then when it spikes back up to 140, it recharges the capacitor back to full, so we're able to get a fully smooth voltage going to our end device while having an inconsistent power source. You get it right? If not, now you know how capacitors work. Thanks for watching.